I'm Panama Man on Facebook. I'm at Panama Man INT .LLC on Instagram. My website is www.panamameninternational.com. I'm reaching out to y'all today. Um, you know, I'm just picking up where I left off. Last time I reached out on social media and I shared my story. I was speaking on just trials and tribulation, man, and just overcoming stuff early on, and like how God uh always had His hands on me, man, and even to this day. And on that same note, um, reflecting and looking back, man, I think I spoke on this on my off the porch interview. I'm gonna be straight up with you, man. You can be all the way right, dog, and stuff still go wrong. And what I mean by that is sometimes, the saying now, sometimes life just be lifing. And let me extrapolate. Um, Long and the short of it, man, I'm a young cat. And I just started ASU. My partner, man. Uh, I was staying with him, and like I told you the last time, I shared. Stuff ended up going left in that situation, but God protected me. But long and short of it, I was sort of like in limbo, didn't know which way I was gonna go because I was at a HBCU, one feeling the college thing, and I thought about Atlanta because that's what everybody was rocking on, you know. I was in the Benny about 3 hours south of Atlanta, but I went up that way, man. I was like, man, this is probably where I need to be and whatnot, because I had a few connections to Atlanta, but I got people in Tampa too, man, cousins and whatnot. So, and some in me just don't always love the ocean. So I was like, man, let me go to Tampa. And I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I didn't have nothing but a couple suitcases found and motivation. And I moved to Tampa, man, and I was a big dreamer back then. But my dream wasn't focused. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to be successful, man. And and my idea of successful was rich. And I'm be honest with you. I was like every young person. My definition of rich was money. It wasn't rich in character. It wasn't rich in integrity. My definition of rich, was money. Because they say now more money, more problems, but you don't think like that when you're on the come up. So I was focused, man, especially for a young dude. I should read Money Magazine. I should read mutual funds magazine, like the Morningstar funds and stuff, man. I was just trying to learn all I could about money, man. And I was looking in the paper, looking for a gig when I just got down there to Tampa, man. And I saw on there they were hiring for a car salesman. And it wasn't even about the car salesman thing, because, I ain't never thought about that. I was looking at the fact they were on that advertising saying you can make 100-some thousand a year. And 100,000 a lot now, man. But when I was a young jit, that was even more money, man. Inflation hell. So, back then, man, 100-some thousand, almost like, almost like a quarter meal now. So, man, I was like beyond driven. You know what I'm saying? To like do what I could to become a car salesman. And man, they were hire anybody, man. I think they probably did a mirror test, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you put your mouth in front of the mirror, man, and you saw breath on the mirror, you could get the job. You had to be clean cut and stuff, of course, and like dressing, man. That was second nature to me. So, I went there with cold hands on, suit and tie, this, that, and the third. Got the gig, no issue, but had never sold a car in my life. I ain't had nothing in me but ambition and drive. And I'm gonna be 1,000 with you, man. They took me through like a 1 week um, car selling course, and I was on the new car side at a Mitsubishi place, Curtis Mitsubishi down there, big franchise down there. And the used car side, that was a whole different animal. And me knowing what I know now about the car business, the money really on the used car side, unless you selling eons of cars. But I'm gonna be 100 with you, man. I was the youngest cat there, and my first month there, bro. I was the most driven. They had cats there that were middle aged with families and stuff, old heads there, and I chit chat this, that, and the third, bro. But I was focused. I'd be the first person on the lot, last person to leave, man. I'd be working the phone, working the people on the lot, man. I was on it, man. I heard a million no's, but I heard 22 yeses, and that was enough for me to be uh, car salesman of the month by a lot. And I was supposed to get like a bonus and with which I sold and stuff, man. I knew it was gonna be over 10 grand. In my mind, it was around about 13. So this is my first month ever selling cars, bro. So I'm waiting to get my check, bro, and just on 10, man, just on a high because the guy next door, the used car salesman next door, bro, he was like flamboyant. He's pull up, in a badass Toyota Supra. And I remember he walked to that day, bro, little short, mafia looking cat, man. And he smoked a cigar, bro, and he'll have his arm extended, holding the cigar, walking, bro, and hitting that thing, man. And he walked over after I got a car salesman um, of the month and handed me one of them cigars, bro. First time I ever smoked it, man. Smoke it going to the crib, got sick as a dog, but it stuck with me. And that's something I brought back here with me, man. The whole, swag, man. The Panama Jack swag, the Panama hats and the cigars and stuff. And I got that flavor from the Hispanic cats that was around me, man, and the Italian cats that was around me, and what they was on down there. But long and the short of it, fam, straight up, uh, I'm waiting for my first check, man. Get my check, bro, and it was like beans, like it wasn't chump change, but it wasn't nowhere near what it was supposed to be. And so I'm just looking at the hours I'm putting in, and doing I was there man almost 8 or some hours a week to make what I made, bro. And the number of people I dealt with and stuff, man, I felt finesse. So me being a Scorpio, man, I get scorned, man. Still to this day, I had to get that out of my nature, and that's what this whole conversation about, man. This is a method of my madness, and I'm hoping this helps somebody. If you young or old or whatever, man, it just help you face adversity, because then I wasn't good at facing it. What I should have done was fought for my money, and but what I did instead was I just quit. And they were blowing up my phone, man. The manager was blowing up my phone, leaving messages, begging me to come back. It was a millionaire I met down there, bro. That was my trainer, man. He was super impressed with me, bro. He had did his research on me and everything, because in the class he was telling me about my background in the class. So he knew they knew who they had hired, just stuff about me as a child and whatnot, stuff stuff I didn't know they had a clue of. So along and the short of it, he hit me up too. And I'm gonna tell you this, man, true story about the cat. I don't know nothing about golf, and he took me to Zephyr's Hills. Me and cats from the class, like trying to give us inspiration, because he had got rich in the car business. They called him in as a trainer for Curtis Mitsubishi, and it was an exclusive Zephyr's Hills, man, exclusive like rich neighborhood. Like if you heard of Zephyr's Hill Water, they got golf resorts. They got a golf community as well, with nice cribs, $1 million cribs and stuff. So he got us at his crib, and just showing us that lifestyle, man. What we can attain, and in the crib next door was his too. And he just had both cribs right there beside each other, man. We didn't go to the one next door. He had us in that one. And we were like all of us was in the bike, man, the screen room. He was pointing out there, man, and it was Tiger Woods out there, bro. And I ain't had no clue who Tiger Woods was, man. I guess he had been a phenomenon down there that at the time. So he told me straight up, man. He said, "Look, man," he said, "that man right there." He said that he next with that golf. He a bad boy. And he next with that golf. Man, I ain't think nothing of it. You know what I'm saying? And like, not soon after, bro, he just blew up. So it's just like, man, just God, man, shape your path, man. It'd be crazy because stuff will happen and then it'll have relevance later on. So the long and the short of it, man, that was a sort of kind of cast out patting myself after I met. I had a manager, man, David Ozen, man. I patted myself after him too, man. Coolest cat in the world, bro. He loved them Broncos, man. Them OJ, bro. He loved the night Bronco, and he used to lease them. So he kept a new Bronco. He'll keep one for a year, then get another one. You know what I'm saying? He pull up with the cigar in his mouth every day. He'll hit it at the end of the day, on the new car side, you know what I'm saying, after he had sold all day, bro. It just, smooth dude, bro. I think he was like some kind of, he was an Arab or something, but man, used to be dressed to a T. Had that hair gelled up, man, and stuff, man. He was dark skinned, bro, but like not like us, bro. You know what I'm saying? He was a different dude. So the long and the short of it, man, I was blessed to be around blessed dudes, man. And all these dudes calling me, hitting me up, want me to come back, man. But me being a Scorpio, I didn't go back to the gig. And me being the man I am now, 18 years old, selling that many cars, man, and selling 22 cars, man, and it's supposed to get over $10,000, man. I would have went back and fought for my money. But like I said, I quit. So I'm in Tampa, man, and in limbo. And so don't know what I'm gonna do next. And I got a partner of mine I was selling car with, David Sir, bro. And this dude was from England, man. It's just a lot of different characters I ran into down there in Tampa. So David Surrey, man, he had left there and went to St. Pete and got a gig like at a big time copier firm. And when I say copy, I ain't talking about no Office Depot and no Staples. That was before that little Minute Man, printing companies was big. So long and the short of it, man, David Surrey, man, he put me on some game, man. He got me a gig. It was a South Carolina-based company that shout out to y'all too, man. For getting on my page, man. I appreciate y'all. But I'm telling my life story, man. Part of it. I'm hoping it help people, man. Cause long and short of it, man, adversity shaped me, and even to this day, it's part of my character, man. So I'm just sharing, man. I got a lot to share, and this is part of my chronicles, me sharing it. And you know what I'm saying, if it helped, you know what I'm saying, I pray it do. But either kind of way, I feel like you'll get some kind of substance out of it. But anyway, like I was saying, man, David Surrey, man, different dude, from England or whatnot, and he put me in position to get that job, the South Carolina-based job. And like I said, it wasn't the Minuteman stuff, the Office Depot stuff like that. It was a company where they sold like the big floor model printers, like for big companies. Like what I mean by that is like of a big firm that need a lot of stuff printed, like a lawyer firm or something like that. They would get the big flow module printers, man. These things sold for like 30 some $40,000. So they hired me as a salesperson. I'm the first young black cat to work for that company. Again, I'm 18 years old, man. I had already been #1 car salesman at that dealership, and I'm sure with David telling them about me at that dealership, that's how he sold me to get a job with them. So I'm seeing like zeros again. I'm like, man, this might be my way. Still on the Reading Money magazine thing, still on the, learning about mutual funds, Morningstar funds and stuff, man. In my mind, man, just instead of being rich in character and integrity, I'm like, man, I'm gonna get rich and just think that's gonna solve all my problems. So the long and the short of it, famo, um, they got me trying to sell these big flow module printers, and you can make like 40. They sold like for 40 grand, so you can imagine the commission. You know, even the commission like 10%. You can imagine the commission off of them. So I'm super excited, man. You sell a couple of these, every month or two, and you own. And they give you they gave you real big territory or whatnot to work, to generate sales and stuff. But they just put you out there on your own. I'm in my own vehicle. They put me out there in my own. And David Sir was supposed to be my trainer, the cat I knew from England. But man, I didn't really get no training, man. They just threw me in the ocean, bro. And I'm motivated, self-driven. But I realized soon, bro, that I was the first black person at that company, man. And I don't play on this, that, and the third. Stuff has gotten better in certain ways and worse in others. And at the end of the day, bro, our own people sometimes do us in, or so I don't be on that color thing like that. But I started writing on the wall, man, because I realized soon, taking on that task, that the territory I had was mostly rural. So it wasn't even many offices there for me to pitch the big flow module printers, man. They put me like in a dud sector. So I couldn't really work that, man, and make money, man. It was like I was set up for failure. And David Sir wasn't training me, man. He go supposed to be training me, bro. He'll stop by and let's check this movie out. So it was crazy, man. And I realized really I bit off more than I could chew, and I was at a disadvantage when the guy that hired me, man, he was one of the managers there, man. He pulled me to the side one day, and we outside after the morning meeting and stuff before we go out, and what I'm saying, in the sales field. And the dude actually stepped to me, man, by more in their yard, bro. And I was beyond offended, man. I didn't crash out, but I realized then, man. That was I addressed it or whatnot, but I realized then, bro. I've been handed a bad deal, and I wasn't gonna go back to that dealership because of pride thing, me being the number one car salesman, and them not paying me. So I'm just feeling like a failure at the time, man. And my old lady down there with me at the time too, my high school sweetheart, man. We had moved down there together, and she was working at a bank, man. So I'm just at a loss. So I'm like, man, and so it's a few more weeks of this little slice, and saying little stuff, man, little racial stuff to me, man. And I got thick skin, bro, and I play slow, but I'm just like I said, man. If you meek around people, you'll see their true nature. Cause I'd be more concerned about how somebody treats somebody, man, that they feel like is in a different position than them, somebody that's weaker than them, like a sickly person or an old person. That'll tell you a lot about a person's spirit. The thing about it, man, I'm good to people that don't benefit me. It don't benefit you to do nothing for no homeless person. It don't benefit you, to help an old lady out of the car. You ain't gonna get no accolades, no award for that, bro. But man, stuff like that make me rich and care. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm on, man. I've been on that for a while, bro. And so, my blessings be different because when I think about it, man, don't get it wrong, man. We need money to live, but at the end of the day, man, the things that make me happy, man, I can't get with money. I'll be 1,000 with you, man. Like, experiences, man. It take money to travel this, that, and the third, bro. But it's deeper than that, man. You can't buy peace. It's rich people crashing out. So, long and the short of it, man. I realized that was a big mistake. Taking on that job at that printing company in St. Pete, and I left there, man. And the way they fired me, they had a guy that bought me in, David Sir. They had him take me out to lunch, bro. And he told me, I wasn't gonna be no good fit, and this, that, and the third. So, man, I was like devastated, bro. Um, I hit my pops up, man. My daddy was still in the Benny, man. He knew a cat in St. Pete that was a lawyer, man. So I had a discrimination lawyer, man. I had a discrimination lawsuit against the city of St. Pete because I was the first black person to work at that company, man. And I just want to treat it right, man. Just they just really they tore up with me, man. It's just um it it didn't sour me, man, or change my heart, but it just moving down there, man, being young. I just got a first glimpse of what the real world like, man. You got to have a leather skin around here, man, and you can do everything right, stuff still go wrong for you. So you know, I'm not saying I understand, man, how people go left, but it's hard out here sometimes being straight up. So, and I ain't perfect by any means, but anybody know me, man, know, man. You know what I'm saying, man. I just I like I have a pride in succeeding, man, and I had a pride in work, man, accomplishing stuff, bro. Like even now, man, I think with the music thing that I do now, most people they rock out me because of my work ethic. The last session I did at Patchwork, I had an 8-hour session, man. I did 16 songs. So, and I did songs in all different genres. So I take that same work ethic I had early on, and I'm doing it now with something I have a love and a passion for. So, like I said, man, my dad knew a guy down there that was a lawyer, and we tried to sue the city of St. Pete, but I just didn't sit around and wait for no lawsuit. The manager that I was cool with, I was telling you about, that leased the Broncos and stuff. Once a year, he'll get a new Bronco every day after work. He hit that cigar, man, smooth dude, David Ozzie. Um, he had got on the Ed Morse Cadillac, and he got me on there. And I again, it's another dealership, but David had took a liking to me and saw how I worked at Curtis and Mitsubishi. But Ed Morse Cadillac in Bradenton, Florida, that was a whole different experience. It wasn't a fast paced um, dealership like the Mitsubishi dealership was. 'Cause, Cadillacs are high end, expensive, man. And so it was a community called Sun City Center, right beside Ed Morse Cadillac, and that's like a rich, older people's community. But the thing about Ed Morse Cadillac, I did okay, but he had to feed me. What I mean by feed me is like, me and him had a relationship, so he'll throw me deals and this, that, and the other, man, because that wasn't really no dealership, man, where people just gonna be walking on a lot buying cars, man. Most of the people just came back and returned customers. So he tried to get traffic there by doing stuff like he'll throw some 4x4 trucks in front of the Ed Morse Cadillac and this, that, and the other. So a lot of my days, man, was just tedious. Me on the phone calling people, man, just sitting around all day waiting for a sale, man. And I remember a Cuban dude, he always was like, man, you need to go back to school. You need to go back to school. And like I said, bro, I was dying at that time, man, and I just really had in my mind that I was gonna get straight by any means necessary, man. As far as hard work was concerned, uh, you know, just level up. But that dealership was real slow. And long and the short of it, man, I eventually left Tampa, and that wasn't a bad experience, the Ed Morse Cadillac thing. In fact, I reached out to David Ozzie, uh, trying to get him to broker a deal later on for my brother with music, because I knew how well off he was, man, and he thought a lot of me, and he thought enough of me to I was handling business with my brother, trying to get him another record deal after he lost his deal with MCA. So he thought enough of me, like send a proposal, man, and let me see if it makes sense to invest. So I'm just saying this to say, my experiences down there, it translated into today. Um, I have to tell myself now, man, in music, man, and in life, It's a lot of situations. Well, I might pay a fee, or something might not go my way. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It's a lot of finessing in music. A lot of people come to you, man, with proposals, and they'll come to you with weight gimmicks about getting ahead. I never been a person to buy in the box and stuff. You see, my numbers are no low, man, because they're completely organic. I don't pull stunts to get ahead. I ain't trying to do no trendy dance to get ahead, this, that, and the other. My focus, man, has just been mastering my craft and putting out the best music I can. Because I feel like eventually the music game is gonna come back to that. But along the way, I've had to, put my foot down, and what I do, man, if I'm wrong business wise, uh, me versus me then as a child, as a young cat, 18, um, you know, uh, losing that opportunity, man, not getting my 13 grand for being car salesman of the month at Curtis Mitsubishi selling 20 cars. Me now, as a grown man, when I run into adversity in music, when somebody promised me something, when they renege on something, or they don't do their end on something, I hit them up. I remind them, more than one time, if so be it. If I see the way they ignore me and it's a loss, or if I reach out to people and I don't get a response back, and if it's something where they sold something to me and I bought into it to get ahead music wise, for instance, if somebody sold me on a personality, online personality, sold me on pushing my content, doing some skits for me or something, and they didn't get behind me like they promised, and push the product for me that I purchased. I stay consistent, about getting on them, man. But most of the time, it's not nobody you can pull up on. It's people from all across the country that you deal with on social media. So I do my due diligence in getting it resolved. And if I get burned big time, which I have, if I get burned big time, which one time I got burned almost like 1,200. I gave them months and months and months. And I just had to go back. I had to go through PayPal, and PayPal gave me a full reimbursement, man. So I just try to stay on business that way, man, and not get discouraged. And the same thing, man, in life I learned early on. I sold 22 cars because I didn't mind a no. I probably heard over 100 no's to get the 22 yeses. And it's the same thing with this music thing, man. I've got a couple of good people, man. I got a couple of industry people, a few industry people that got interest in me. But it took me 6 years of no's to get to that. And even now, nothing's promised, man. You got to realize, favor don't come through, man. And people have a lot going on. It's a season for winning, and you just gotta take life, man. And take it at the half half full, man, not half empty, man. You got to look at life like that, because your day gonna come. You do your due diligence, you do the work, and you stay focused. Your day gonna come. And that's what I've been on the last 6 years, man. Master my craft, master my writing with the music. It's been people that were like, "Look, man, let me get you some equipment, and show you. Let me, not get me equipment, but let me point you to a cat where you can get your Mac and get up and record at the house." I like to go to Patchwork in Atlanta. I like Soul Asylum in Atlanta, and and the tabs is not much more than it is in other places. Depending on which studio you get, recording studio you get for your session. You can get decent prices. I like to go there because it's put me in that music element, and I like, and it's different when you're on the clock. You have to be very, very driven at home, and then I don't want to learn how to record and mix on my music, because there's a learning curve with that. So I just been on the mastery of writing. I write in all genres, and I record in all genres. I've got country music, I've got hip hop music, I've got rock music, I got alternative music, I got blues music. I've got my own genre, um, and that I came up with or whatnot. And I just been working. Got over a couple hundred songs, and I'm just saying this to say, um, repetition, 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 and the art of overcoming it get you into the art of winning. And I win now, and I win in intervals because when I have a goal, um, even if the world don't see it, it's that sense of accomplishment by attaining what you reached out for. My goal at 18 years old was to be the car salesman of the month, and I did that. I set them personal goals now for myself, and so I have big goals, but those big goals, you have to knock down the little goals to get to the bigger ones. And just like me being car salesman of the month, I had to sell one car at a time, to get to those 22 cars. So I'm just saying to say, don't give up in life, man. When you got adversity, man, somebody wrong you, address it. But you can address it in a professional way. They might tell you no. It might go left, but sometimes, man, people will slight you and you addressing it to get the issue resolved. You know what I'm saying? Get you your money owed. And so, you don't have to crash out. You don't have to argue. You don't have to, you don't have to go in or you don't have to go in gung ho. But, address it. Let people know they wronged you, man. And, or just ask them, what the issue is and just try to get the bottom of what's going on. And even if they playing with you, at least address it because you'll sleep better at night. Cause it still bothers me, man. Being 18 years old, and they played with me, didn't give me half what they owed me. Them calling me back there to trying to get me to come back there and work. I feel like they would have straightened my money out. But me, the Scorpio in me, once I'm burned, my instinct is just to, just to leave that person alone and just to go another route. But you sometimes, man, even when somebody wrong you, you got to sit down with them, man, and you got to deal. You got to set boundaries, man, and even if you just resolve that situation and move on from them, at least you sat down as a man or as a woman and you addressed it. So I'm just saying this to say God is in control. There's a lot of stuff going on nowadays, but just know, man, repetition, you mastering the craft. I don't care if you're the best broom maker in the world. You know what I'm saying? You'll be a millionaire. If you just master your craft. So, you know, don't worry about the no's. Fight for it, yes, every day. Man, enjoy this life, man. You got one of them, man. And don't let nobody downplay nothing that you enjoy doing, regardless of what it is. We got ageism, we got racism, we got sexism. But, at the end of the day, man, God in control, bro. And if your motivations are pure and you ain't hurting nobody, I don't care what you're doing. You know, I don't care what you doing, man, or what you thrive to be. If it's something, man, that you get pleasure out of, man, and you enjoy, man, go for it, man. Go for it, because this life's short, man, and it's too short for regrets. And the people that really care about you, they'll love and support you, man. Because at the end of the day, bro, you in control of your happiness. And, it took me a long time to get to this place. I just was always trying to push others. So, hopefully this helps somebody. I got some more stuff I'm gonna drop, some more knowledge I'm gonna drop, man. I've had some adversities, but I'm gonna speak on them, and I'm gonna be tapping in on a regular because, hopefully this will help somebody, man. Hopefully, they'll overcome stuff that I had a hard time overcoming, and it took me a long learning curve. So if I can help anybody, that's what I'm here for, man. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all tapping in. Y'all tap into my music as well, dog. I'm Panama Mint on Facebook. I'm Panama Mint INT.LLC on Instagram, man. I got over about almost 20 professional videos last couple of years in Atlanta, man. I've been getting to it, dog. I got a lot more projects coming. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming, man, music-wise. You might go on my page, man, and see me in a cowboy hat and boots and straight singing country. Rapping, whatever, man. Whatever it hits my heart to do, that the few industry producers I deal with, they send me whatever it hits my heart to do, man. I do it to the best of my ability, man. I've been blessed to be able to do that, and it's been an outlet for me. And I got a lot more to share. I just was sharing stuff early on and just letting you know how life is full circle, man. So y'all, address your issues, y'all, and you do what y'all can to get ahead, man. God bless y'all, dog. And God bless anybody that speak on, comment, pay attention to anything I got going music wise, man. I love anybody love music, man. We in it to win it, y'all. This our year 2025. Panama, break 'em out. Play with it.